Welcome to the Vault Studios NFL podcast, an Australian twist on all things NFL. The boys are cracking into a nice cold beer from Burnley Brewing. Let's join them.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. I'm your host, J.A., and I'm joined by the great, the handsome, the exuberant, the intelligent Richard Garraway. How are you, buddy?
Good. I don't think I'm any of those things.
Is exuberant a word? I think it
Yes.
is a word. I went for it. I don't know what it means. I hope it means like real happy and fun person to be around. That's what you are, buddy.
Yeah, that's close enough.
Cool. That's what I was going for. Energetic sort of thing. That's what I was going after. What a week, Rich. You'd hate to be a top team in the NFL, wouldn't you?
Well, pretty much been the tale of last 3 weeks. Upset to go. To the point where I'm like, nothing's an upset anymore in the NFL. There's games and teams win. That's it.
Yeah.
And
if you're a little bit dinged up, you're gone.
Yeah. Sometimes it doesn't even matter. You be dinged up and win. Like, it's just ridiculous, this league. It is absolutely ridiculous. When you look at, I said, you can cherry pick games from the last 3 weeks, and I guess the question is, who's good? Because I don't fucking know. I got no idea. I know who I think is good, but I don't know if they are.
Yeah, I don't know who's good. There's a few good ones. They just keep losing. I think it just shows that everyone's got players, and if you let yourself slip, they're going to beat you. The NFL's extremely competitive, and they're all fighting for spots. And I kind of like it. I like that you rarely have it. Like even the Texans and the Jaguars, who we're going to talk about later. Even the Lions, like they're almost the Lions lost by 3 points today with Tim Boyle as their quarterback.
Well, they had a tie the week before.
Yeah, like they are, and
crazy.
they are terrible. They are a bad team, but they find a way to compete because it's a business. It's a league. It's good. I like it a lot. I like that there's no easy wins. I like that you're the Bills going against, or you're the Titans going against the Jaguars or whoever they lost to today, whoever it was, Jaguars and the Texans today. And it's like, you can lose that game. If you don't come in ready to go, they will beat you. Pyro Taylor will have a day and he'll beat you. So come in ready.
I think what's more gone this year than any other year is this time of year we would say, okay, well, they've got 6 wins right now, so we need to find them another 4. Now these days, probably 5 with the extended schedule and extra playoff spots and all the rest of it. And we'd look down and we go, oh, yeah, well, there's 1, there's 2, 3, 4, yeah, they'll probably make it. Not now. I wouldn't have the guts to do that. I don't think I've had a bet now in the NFL in like 5-6 weeks because the insider knowledge that is now required to bet successfully on the NFL is mental. It's parlays, forget those. You used to just throw in a Chiefs at the last second to up your odds a bit. Now they're burning you, although they've been good last 2 weeks, but who the hell knows? Like, is this the new normal or was 2 weeks ago the new normal? And we're all saying, oh, everyone's worked out the Chiefs. I mean, I don't know. Crazy.
I can tell you one thing about the Chiefs is don't do what the Raiders did. Play too high against them. They really struggle against too high. Play too high and get pressure with a 4-man rush. That's basically the key to beating any good offense in the league. It's not a secret.
No. And the biggest problem is the ability to get there with 4. Yeah,
which is the hardest part. And if you don't, Mahomes fucking kills you. He kills you. And he still does. I guarantee you. Watch the Raiders. Before we get carried away, let's get into our sponsors, Burnley Brewing. I'm actually not having a beer tonight. I've been a bit unwell the last couple of days, so I'm just having a night off. Burnley Brewing, our good friends. They're reopened, 648 Bridge Road, Richmond. Get in there, show your support. Dark Horse Electrics. You need any electrical work done, make sure you get in. You give Dylan a call, get onto all his socials, give him a shout out. Best electrician in Melbourne, I guarantee you. US sports gear, get on there. You want a college helmet? You want a college replica helmet, something cool like that? Or you want something to play in this year in the local leagues? Get into ussportsgear.com.au. And lastly, for our Patreon this month, you're in the running. I'll spin around the right way. That is a Marshall Falk Hall of Fame mini Rams helmet. This is an absolute ripper. For $10, you get a chance to win it. And that is brought to you proudly by J&D's Breaks Down Under. All these guys' social medias are in our descriptions, guys. Get in there, show them some love. Get into J&D's Breaks and try and get yourself some helmets. There was a Tom Brady helmet going there today. for a break, which was said it was expensive, but you don't get your hands on a Tom Brady Bucks helmet very often. So there was one going in there the other day. So make sure get in there and have a look. But let's get straight into the upset, Rich. It was hard to pick, but I think I haven't even checked this with you. Are you happy with Texans over the Titans 22-13 for the upset of the week?
Yeah, I am. Anytime Texans or the Jags get a win, they just about automatically become the upset, especially with the Titans team. Tannehill looked like Tannehill from his Dolphin days, throwing 4 picks, not too flash. Also, did you see the thing? Tyrod Taylor scoring an offensive touchdown for the Texans. It's the first time they'd scored a touchdown. Oh, their offense has scored a touchdown since week 2 on the road or something ridiculous like that. Just crazy. Again, though, it just to show that the Titans probably went in there in complete cruise control. Like, Texans garbage. We'll just roll over them. And as we were saying in the intro, you turn up not ready to go, and you get beat. Simple as that in this league. And for the Texans, this is a team they see twice a year. Like, they know who they are, they know what they do, and they don't have their best player. Stuff happens.
But it's division games. We say this. I feel like we say this every week. Division games.
Was it also teaming rain in this game?
Yeah, it was pretty wet. It was very wet. Yep. And like the Titans also lost to the Jaguars early in the year too. So they're basically they've split their division games. They've beaten the Colts twice, which I didn't think would happen, and they've split with the Texans and the Jaguars. Like, division games are hard. As you said, they know you really well, and they can prepare for you. But the Texans' defense has been good all year. They have not been terrible. They have been a good unit. They play hard. They're well coached. They've got, they're not loaded with talent, but they find ways to get success with effort. So they've been good all year, and I think it was fine for them. It was finally time for them to give it a reward for that, and that was the 4 interceptions. Tannehill was bad. His interceptions it was like the receivers ran the wrong routes. I know they were all terrible. They were just routes that were undercut, and he threw it straight to looks like he threw it straight to the defender every time. So that was a bit disappointing to see, but he's been pretty good the last few weeks. I think it's hard, if you're not going to get on a Dak Prescott for the loss against Denver, like, it's hard to get on a guy like Tannehill. He's had one bad game against a bad team. Like, you can just chalk it up to a bad week. He's been pretty good without Henry. So I'm not panicking about the Titans. I'm not panicking about anyone, because as we've talked about at the top of the show, people are just losing left, right, and center right now, and there's nothing you can really do about it. The division races are frisky as anything this year. Frisky as anything. So, great if you're a Texans fan. Enjoy it. Don't worry about losing a draft pick, because you don't have one anyway. So you're only making the Eagles pick worse. So please keep winning. Don't give them 3 picks in the top 10. But yeah, don't be worried about it. But it was good to get a win. Did you see their coach though, David Culley, afterwards?
No, I didn't.
Have a bit of fucking fun, why don't you, mate? Have a bit of Dan Campbell about you. They said, who got the game ball? He said, we don't give out game balls. We don't win enough to give out game balls. Said, mate, you just won your second game of the year against the top team in the AFC. Like, maybe enjoy the moment before you get fired at the end of the year. Like, come on, man. Like, it shit me. If that was Dan Campbell, he would have been jumping up and down over the moon, pumping up his guys. What a wet blanket. Imagine getting to your locker room thinking, yes, we won a game, and having be like, we don't give game balls out for only winning 2 games. You're like, yeah, good on you, mate. I really want to come and play for you hard next week now. It was, if you get a chance, have a look at it. It was very almost obnoxious of him, I thought. Like, you're not good, so enjoy it. Enjoy a win.
And as we always say, you can be the hard ass when you're winning.
Yeah.
But if you're hard ass, no fun police when you're losing, it usually does not go well for you.
And I don't know if Dan Campbell can coach or not, but I'd play for that guy. And you can tell the Lions, who are very untalented, are playing for him. If nothing else, they are playing for their coach.
100%.
So I think, that attitude needs to go. But straight up by the Texans. Let's go to my new segment, Rich. And as I said, there was plenty of upsets. And what these upsets are doing, Richie, is they're leaving the door open for a division leader. Is just sometimes it's leaving it open just a crack, Richie, and sometimes it's just banging the fucking door off the hinges and saying, hey, come on in. And that's really what the first one is. The Bills aren't only leaving the door open for the Patriots. Right now, the Bills are the 7 seed in the AFC, and the Patriots are winning the division. They have a game up on the Bills. The Bills need a bye, or the Patriots need a bye still, so the Bills can catch one back. but at 6-4 compared to 7-4, do you reckon they're leaving it open a little bit too much for him?
As you said, not only have they left it open, but the Patriots said thanks very much, walked right through and taken a spot on the couch. Like, you want to give Bill Belichick a chance? Like, you got to be kidding me. They've got Mac Jones in a system that's working for him, that isn't asking too much of him too early, that are giving him some more in the last few weeks than what he's done in the past. But he's got more wins than every other rookie quarterback that was drafted last year combined.
Yep.
So he's playing outstandingly versus those players. I'm not going to say
question on McCorkle, just before we move on.
Yep.
If you were redrafting, would he be the first quarterback in your mind gone?
No, because I don't think he's the most talented. I think he's in the best situation with the best coach.
Would he jump any of the 4 guys in front of him? Fields. So who was it? Who went one? Lawrence, Wilson, Fields. Who's the one I'm forgetting?
No. Lunch Tray went before Fields.
Lunch Tray, Fields. Would he jump any of them?
Well, I think the 49ers ruined the day. I think they took the wrong guy.
Yeah, I think if I was the Niners, I'd take Mac.
Yeah, I think he actually I find it really strange. I know they've played well in the last few weeks, the 49ers, after we were all but ready to fork them. But I still think McCorkle can do what Shanahan wants better.
I think he's a better version of Garoppolo, or can be a better version of Garoppolo.
I definitely think he's a better version of Garoppolo. There's no trade value there now. They may as well keep him for another year and give Lance another year to come along. Because let's not forget, the Lunch Tray didn't have his last year of football, was draft eligible and declared. So he hasn't played that many college games. And again, he hasn't played many NFL games. So he needs some more time. So they're at the point now, they may as well keep both of them at the 49ers, because you're going to need them both while you bring Lunch Tray up to speed. But that brings us totally off topic. As I said, just come back to the Patriots. I mean, have a look at their slate that's remaining. It's not exactly a murderous row.
They've got Titans at home next week, which I think they probably lose that game.
Well, the Titans will need to bounce back.
Yeah, and then they then play the Bills at the Bills, the Colts at the Colts, who we're going to talk about the Colts in a little bit. They're
frisky.
They're getting strong. Then they get the Bills again. Then they get the Jags and the Dolphins and the Ravens.
Yeah. So
the Ravens. Sorry, not the Ravens. The Jags and the Dolphins. I don't know why I said the Ravens.
Yeah, so they've got a couple of easy ones at the end if they need them. But I think they'll split the Bills. So that's going to wash out. It's going to be an interesting run home, that's for sure.
I don't think they'll be a playoff team. But the Bills have to get it right, because you're right. They've not only have they opened the door and let them walk in, they've opened the door and let them have to sit on the couch. And then they've got to get in there and beat them off the couch and then take the couch back from them. So they're in a bit of trouble, the Bills. They've got an uphill climb.
Because for both those teams, you've got to keep winning, because the wildcard positions in the AFC are they're so wide open. It's ridiculous.
It's massive.
But take a look at the NFC, though, JA. Have your Cowboys, they left the door open for the Eagles.
They have. That was a really bad loss today. If you told me the Cowboys hold the Chiefs to 19 points, I would have said they win every day of the week. Prescott was dreadful.
Yeah, he looked bad.
He struggles when he's missing his dudes. Amari Cooper didn't play. And I know a lot of people think Amari Cooper's overrated. You have to understand, for an offense to work, there's parts to it, right? And even though Amari Cooper isn't always the productive one on the offense, he draws people. You have to honor him and cover him. Do you think people treat him the same way they treat Cedric Wilson?
No.
Or Noah Brown? They don't. He's an elite route runner with elite hands that can make plays. Losing that was a big deal. Losing Tyron Smith is a big deal. They benched Williams, the left guard, and brought in Connor McGovern, and it didn't work.
CeeDee Lamb went out during the game too.
CeeDee Lamb got hurt the play before halftime. I said, if you told me they hold them 19 points, get 3 turnovers on defense, I'd say the Cowboys won 35-19. Honestly, Cowboys had 3 chances to score touchdowns from good field position, and Prescott played poorly. That's the bottom line. Now, did I expect them to beat the Chiefs in Kansas City at the start of the year? No. So it's one you kind of let go. But in saying that, and to answer your question, the Eagles rolled over the top of the Saints, who are the best run defense in the league. They rolled over. Jalen Hurts is becoming a serious problem for teams as a multi. That was going to
be my next question. Is he good?
No,
he might be.
I don't think he's good. I think he's a very good runner. He threw for 140 yards. If teams shut him down running the ball, he will go to what he was, and he will turn the ball over. He's not an elite passer. All those issues will come to the surface.
Got a bit of the Cam Newtons to him.
100%. But when he runs with the ball, yes, he's exceptionally good. He is very dynamic. He's strong. He's fast. The Saints played him terribly today, and they didn't adjust. Saints' strength is not their pass rush. Their strength is in the trenches, stopping, natural running. It wasn't natural. It was read options. It was broken plays. That's not what they're good at. You could argue a lot of his yards were because the Saints' defense was so good. He was breaking out and then running with it. So teams will adjust to that, and I think they'll play. But they're 5-6 now. The Cowboys are 7-3. So the Cowboys, they're a game up. Am I reading that right? 10 games to 11 games. So the Eagles have to have a bye still. They've got to play each other again as well. Cowboys currently hold the head-to-head. But, I'm not... You have to look at it right now. The Cowboys are 2-0 in the division. The Eagles are 0-1 in the division. So they've played played 3 division games between them. They're going to play each other again.
The biggest thing to look at, though, is the conference. The conference record is a tiebreaker a lot of the time. You're 5-1 in conference.
Cowboys are 5-1.
They're 4-3. That's the difference.
And you look at, the Cowboys have said, I don't think anyone's an easy beat anymore, but they've got the Raiders at home this week. I think the Raiders are really struggling. I think they're going to flail. I think they're going to beat them quite easily. Then they get to play the Saints. I think they beat the Saints. The Saints' offense is dreadful. They then get Washington. They might lose that, but then they get the Giants. They get Washington twice, which you think they win one of them. I'm backing them to beat the Giants. I think there's easy 4 more wins, at worst 5 more wins there. And that brings them to
11. And
I just don't think the Eagles can catch them. But in saying that, what you don't want to happen, and this is where the Cowboys have done themselves in the past, you don't want to leave it to week 18, the last game of the season, and have the Eagles having to go to Philly, and if they beat you, they steal the division from you. That's what you don't want to do.
Because they'll be up and about for that, let me assure you.
That's when the Cowboys flail. Now, in saying that, the Cowboys, this is the Eagles' run, which is better than the Cowboys. They get the Giants next week, knowing them they'll lose that game. Then they get the Jets. Then they get Washington. Then they get the Giants. Then they get Washington. Then they get the Cowboys. I can honestly see a world where they win all those games.
And
they get a bye in there too. So they have left the door open, and they said the Cowboys would want to win the next 2. They want to beat the Raiders, beat the Saints. They're at 9-3. They're home from there. The Eagles can't win enough games from there to catch them. You know what I mean? But the Eagles are playing a lot better. And you know what? In saying that, Washington are playing a lot better too.
Yeah, well, I don't want to talk about that.
They're only 4-6, so they're a long way behind. They'd have to win every game.
Be my team, though.
I'll ask you, Richie.
Frustrating.
Titans, again, we discussed earlier, upset of the week. Texans beat them up today. Colts you could have called it an upset of the week, but I actually think the Colts are good. I think they're a really good team, and they're just coming on strong. They ran all over the Buffalo Bills. Are the Titans leaving the door open for the Colts?
I don't think so. And if they have, it's much, much smaller than a couple of the ones we've talked about already. They've got a few more games up their sleeve.
They've beaten them twice too.
The Titans, and they've beaten them twice. So that obviously makes a big difference. One of the more interesting things here is the Colts defense is good. As far as points allowed, it's pretty handy. And as far as points for, they've put up more points than the Titans have. So they're chugging along. They got that running game going. Well,
Jonathan Taylor's unbelievable.
I'll give you a stat about him. So since they've got that O-line healthy, he averages 4 yards before contact.
Yep.
So that's taking a handoff, depending on if it's shotgun or whatever. But that's on average. Say you're taking a handoff 5 yards in the backfield. He's not getting touched till 4 yards beyond the line of scrimmage. He's going 9 yards on average before he gets touched. That's insane.
Do you know how easy it is for a running back there?
It is 2 yards better than anyone else in the league.
Yeah,
that's how much a difference that makes. Now, it's obviously that has been all year. That's only since they got the O-line back together.
Quentin Nelson.
They're back together. They're back together. So
if they stay healthy, they're going to the playoffs.
I think they'll go to the playoffs. But it's going to take a lot because catching them isn't enough. They have to go past them.
Yeah, I don't think they can.
So
I said
think it's going to make it
was
hard.
3 weeks ago when they lost that overtime to the Titans. That was the division gone for them. The Titans are going to get it right. Then they're not going to lose every week to a team like the Texans. That had a bad week in the weather, all that sort of stuff. It was a bad week for them. But the Colts, I picked them to be in the playoffs. I think I took them out in my mulligans, which is probably a mistake because they were 0. I think they were 0-4. I'm fairly certain they were 0-4. So
I'd have to double check.
I think they lost to the Seahawks. They lost to the Rams. They lost to the Titans. I reckon they lost to the Dolphins. No, they beat the Dolphins and lost to the Ravens. So that they were 1-4, 1-4, and they've pulled it back to whatever they had, 5 and what are they? 6 and 5. Well, it's insane.
If you want to speak about mulligans, here's one that I bloody pulled out, and that's the Vikings. Have the Packers left the door open for the Vikings?
Losing them to today, definitely. I think the Packers are too good. I think they're too good, and that was Aaron Rodgers was very, very good today, but also so was Kirk Cousins. But there was a couple of things that, did you see the interception to Stokes in the last quarter, which basically would have won the? How did they overturn that? It never hit the ground, and he had full control of it before he hit the ground. It took 4 steps. It was closer to being a fumble than it was to being a dropped interception.
Yeah, I thought it was bad.
The refs, and we've talked about it, they are
I don't want to talk about it. It just
terrible at the moment. They are so. This is the worst I've seen them since the replacements.
I will say one thing. There was a taunt today that I was okay with. I can't remember the running back against
Clyde Edwards-Helaire pointed at the guy.
Pointing direct at a guy before you're in the end zone. I'm cool with that one. What I can't stand is when there's a bit of pushy shovey or you over dance or over celebrate. Once you're in the end zone, the play's dead. It's over. What I don't get though, you can't point at an opposition. You can do a backflip into the end zone if no one's around.
This is, I think, the basic way to make this rule really easy to understand, in my opinion, is to make it that he can't personally go. So if you point
you can't show up the
individual, you are directly indicating at that person. That's it. That's one. There's also the guy from the Chiefs today that started doing the gun to the air.
I didn't think you could do that.
He got flagged. He should have been ejected. It's actually an ejectable offense, immediate ejection.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Some weird ones around today. For a while. The refs in the Chiefs Cowboys game were dreadful both ways. They're dreadful
everywhere.
They've had a really bad few weeks. Gallup was going to walk in for a touchdown, and the guy just basically rams him on top of his route, 15 yards. There was some awful, and there was a real bad one for the Chiefs as well. The refs are bad at the moment, but I just wish they'd call less. Miss more than, I don't know, call the obvious ones. Put all the bullshit little ones away and just call the really obvious stuff, and people will be happy. That's all people really want. Yeah. As for the Vikings, though, the door's open, and I think did you mulligan them out?
Yeah. Here's the thing with the Vikings, though.
1-5. They could
ask a Vikings fan, and they'll say, "Oh, 5-5. We could be 10-0. A couple of things go our way." I'm like, yeah, but you could also be 0-10.
Easily.
All their wins have been at the death. All their losses have been at the death. Oh, speaking of the death, saw this one during the week, or later this afternoon. 23 games have been decided on the last play of the game this year. That's more than last year already.
Jesus. And
this year has been so loopy. When I heard that, I couldn't believe it.
They're on track to break the touchdown record for a season, total touchdown record for a season.
Yeah, so it's 7. It went 700 today. They're through 700. It's been a loopy year. It's been really, really strange.
Fun though. I've got one more for you.
It's a great sport. It's always fun.
I'd hope we find it fun if we dedicated to a podcast on it. I'm glad, Richie. I'm glad you enjoy it. I got one more for you, Rich. And it's we're going to look into the future.
Okay.
Are the Bucks leaving the door open for the Saints or the Panthers?
You're just doing that because I put the Cowboys in. That's smart ass. All right. Have my Bucks left the door open?
If they lose tomorrow, they have. But I think
we wouldn't want to lose. Look, if we win this, that takes us to 7-3. We'll be 2 games clear.
Yeah, it'd be fun. Have you beaten the Saints twice? No, you lost to the Saints.
No, we lost them. So we'll play them again. So hopefully you split that, get another one, and that should see us through. Look, I'm the first to say I'm concerned with our performance over the last few weeks because they've just been. Oh, I hate when
Defensively,
people
you
say
guys aren't great.
no, and there's been a few nicked up and some guys not finishing games. VFA's been in and out. That makes a huge difference since he got good. When he wasn't good, it didn't seem to matter, but like he's a good player now, so it makes a difference.
He's
The
really
secondary
good.
been in and out. They've been in and out during games too. Like, it was I can't remember which one it was the other day. I think Dean might have been like they're just in and out during games. It's weird. Like, they're finding unique ways to get nicked up at the moment.
Is Brown back?
I don't think Brown's going to be back this week. He's had some sort of weird COVID thing where they claimed he got a fake vaccination certificate. Like
Apparently, they've already nullified it. It was his ex-chef or something like that. He's ruled out.
And he owes him 10 grand, which doesn't actually surprise me with Brown. But look,
surely 10 grand's like a pocket change for these guys.
Not for him. Got a zillion kids or zillion women.
Yeah,
sorry, I actually take that back. I don't know that's true. I actually think it might be true, but I don't know it for a fact. So I take that back.
He definitely has. He has 3 to 3 women.
Yeah, okay. So he doesn't make it. I actually don't think he makes huge difference to the offense. We've got to get Gronk back. Gronk's someone we've got to get back. OJ Howard never lived up to the hype ever. Even though he fell to us in that draft, he's never been what we expected of a first round pick. Cameron Brate has really disappeared in the last little while. So I don't know.
He's playing tomorrow night, Gronk.
Okay, I thought he might have been healthy. He's in my fantasy team, so I thought he was going to play. So there's just a few, just little things like that. It just hasn't been clicking, and Brady's looked, just a touch off. It's just.
I'm not worried about him and you want to know why I'm not worried about him? I don't think the Saints are any good. I don't see Trevor Siemian making a playoff run. Honestly,
no.
Sorry, Trevor Siemian. Like you look like a nice enough guy, but sorry. And I also, Carolina Panthers must be the most fucking infuriating team to barrack for in the world. How do you go? Like, I'm sorry. We've seen Cam Newton before. He's no fucking good. He had one good year for you when you went to the Super Bowl, and then he pussed out and didn't recover a fumble.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing with him, though.
I've seen the movie. It's crap.
But here's an upgrade on what they had, and that's the most important thing. You've got to make your team better. And even if they signed him to a buddy 4-year deal, I don't know what the deal was, but even if they did, it's only guaranteed. It's not even guaranteed for this season. Like the second you cut him, you don't have to worry about it anymore. So he's only here to get to the end of the year while they can reassess and work out how the hell they're going to get out from that 5th-year option for Darnold.
But you beat the Cardinals, right? And then you get done to watch. You beat the Cardinals on the road, and then get done by Washington at home. But Tyler Heineke.
I can do that to you with the Cowboys. I lost by the Heineke. You guys lost to the spastic Broncos. Like this year is ridiculous. So we can do this anywhere. We can poke holes in any resume. The thing with Cam Newton, one, he actually looks fit. Like you got to give him that. He actually looks healthy. Now, how long that will last?
They scored 24 points.
Yeah, how long it lasts, I don't know. But you get CMC back in the lineup, and you got a healthy Cam. At least, because we looked at the start of that schedule. It was so weak because of the quirk of just how schedules sometimes come out.
And
now they're through that, so their tougher games are now. And now, at least, if you're a Panthers fan, you look at go into game day going, you know what, we could win. And with Darnold, you couldn't do that. It had reached the point where you're like, wow, if he's there without McCaffrey, dearie me. So at least now, with Cam and McCaffrey, you can walk into the game when Jamie wakes up on a bloody Monday morning, he goes, you know what, we might win today.
It's exciting, if nothing else.
Hey, you know what? When I was looking at the highlights, I was like, good for you, Cam. Good for you. I enjoyed it.
After a year in New England. He deserves to enjoy football again.
It just takes a while to get the fun pumped back into you after they suck it all out.
Yeah.
You know who else I missed just quietly?
Who? Talk to me.
Scotty Miller on injured reserve. I missed that guy, man.
Hey, big reason you won the Super Bowl last year.
Love
that play before the half against Green Bay. Touchdown before the half. That was game changer.
Yeah. Remember, I rang you on the phone. I was screaming.
I do remember. I remember it all vividly. I also remember Super Bowl day. Well, I remember talking to you before Super Bowl. I don't remember stuff happened after I spoke to you. I'm sure. I don't think I didn't go home and go to bed when I was on the phone to you, did I?
No. When
Okay,
we
'cause
spoke, it was still early.
I can't remember what happened after that. Then that's it for leaving the door open. I thought that was a nice little fun segment, Richie, to see who we think's left the door open a little bit. Honestly, I think most of those teams we spoke about probably still go on to win their division. I even think Buffalo still win their division. I think they sweep the Patriots and win it. Personally, I think they're very good. They've had a couple of bad weeks, but this is the league we're in right now, and it's fun. This is what the NFL wants. They want even, and they're getting it this year. It's the bottom team. There's literally going to be single points that change whether you're a playoff team or not this season.
I actually think it's going to be the best. I was about to say week 17. Week 16. It'll be the best week 17 I think we've had in a long, long time, with a lot of the playoff picture not sealed until the last round. I think it's going to be really good.
Well, we're in week 11. Like we're almost into the final quarter of the season. So it's almost everyone's alive. Like literally most of the league's alive. So it's cool.
Well, no one's mathematically eliminated.
I reckon the Lions might be.
So you're telling me
9-1. If they won every single game, they'd only get 8 wins.
Which could get you a wild card. It's not over, mate.
Far out. Lions for wild card.
Just mathematically, I mean. I don't think anyone is mathematically forked.
Well, the good thing is that we're going in to what we don't care if it's mathematics or not, because I've already forked Washington. We're going into our next segment, which is fork 'em. We will now do one every week from now on. I'll go through who we've done so far. Richie, you have forked the Texans and the Giants. I have forked the Lions and the Washington football team. And we did that a few weeks ago. I am still so happy I forked Washington. Fuck you, Washington.
There are 2 teams. If we don't fork them, it's, what do they call it? Dereliction of duty. Is that the word I'm looking for?
Well, you tell me who you want, and I'll tell you who I want.
Okay. We have to fork the Jets, and I'm going to give you the other one. You have to fork the Jags. You can't leave them there because you want to fork someone else. I know you do because I've seen that look in your eye before.
I'm not forking the Jags.
You have to fork them.
I'm not forking them.
All right, fine. I'm leaving the Jets.
Deserves...
I'm leaving the Jets, and I'm forking the Jags then because they have to go.
The Jags. Okay, you fork the Jags. I am forking the Seattle Seahawks.
Oh, Jesus, you always do this.
They are 3-7, Richie. They are dog shit. They are 3-7 in the NFC West. Their season is over.
The Jets have only got 2 wins. They're more dog shit.
I don't care, Richie. There's 2 types of people in this world. All right, people that have balls and people like you. All right, you go forking your 2-10 teams. I'm going after the Seattle Seahawks. They are dog shit. Russell Wilson he had a good pass today, Richie. He literally snaps the ball, looks over his left shoulder, looks over his right shoulder, realizes, they're actually blocking the DNs, and then threw a 50-yard pass to Tyler Lockett. The guy is shit scared. He doesn't have the pocket awareness that he used to have. I don't know what's changed about him. He relies solely on having to run with the ball every chance he gets. Their defense is dreadful. They lost last week, right? Jamal Adams had a pick in the end zone that is one of the easiest interceptions I've ever seen in my life. It got thrown out to him in a silver platter. He tweeted, it's his first interception as a Seattle Seahawk. They gave up 2 first-round picks for him. He's a safety. First interception in 2 seasons. He has 3 for his career. There are D tackles that have more interceptions than him. He is the highest paid safety in the league. And he put up a photo saying, "Come at me now." And you know what they did? They fucking came at him, and they came at him thick and fast.
Can I give you the best meme of the week I saw?
Yes.
So it had Jamal Adams finally ties Vince Wilfork for career interceptions.
Thank you. That was what I was trying to think of whose name it was. Thank you very much. Vince fucking Wilfork. Do you know who has more touchdowns? Vince Wilfork. He's got 2. They are so poorly. I don't know if Pete Carroll's a bad coach because he won a Super Bowl. He's had a lot of very good years, but he's past it. Metcalf is having tantrums on the sideline. I think he'll retire at the end of the year. Seattle are done. I think Russell Wilson, they trade him off at the end of the year and they start fresh. But yeah, Seahawks, I'm forking them. I don't think you need to really tell us why you're forking the Jags. Is it because they're really shit?
Yeah, mainly.
Cool. Paul Lawrence.
Paul Lawrence.
The guy's got no chance.
I was gonna say just quietly. Our mate Adam Gotsis. I think he's having a career year.
He is.
Now he gets a lot of opportunity to play defense for that team, but he's making the most of it.
He's ranked.
He's extending his NFL career.
I was looking at it the other day. He's top 5 in run defending D tackles.
Yeah, he's having an amazing year, and I think because he had a 1-year contract with them last year, he had a 1-year contract with them this year. If he doesn't stay at the Jet, he's going to end up somewhere else. He's staying in the league for a few more years.
I think he's going to get a decent contract this year, which will be awesome. It's the first time he's gone into an off season not injured. Yeah. So it's the first time he's about to have a full preseason. Makes a big difference, man. Makes a really big difference for guys. Like you never know what their stuff's going on, but
absolutely.
He's been on the show before. He's an absolute legend of a bloke, Adam, and we wish him nothing but the best. Honestly,
flies the Australian flag well. I mean, there's obviously
he's
punters
Gridiron Victoria's poster boy at the moment. I can tell you for a fact when they approached him to do that, they said, "Look, we're happy to pay you for that." And he was like, "You don't have to pay me. Anything I can do to promote the game back in Australia, I will." So just the sort of bloke he is. He's an absolute weapon. So we're really, really happy for him. And a few rough years he was probably feeling in the last year. It took a while to get that 1-year deal. My NFL career starting to run out. I don't think it is. I think he'll get a healthy contract next year. I think he'll be in the NFL for a few more years, which is great stuff.
Yeah, couldn't be happier for him.
It's awesome. Let's go. Oh, actually, just while we're on it as well, Jordan Mailata. He can play.
Yeah. He's
that needs to be a bigger story in Australia. People do not understand how big a deal that is to go and play left tackle in the NFL.
Exactly, and it's really hard to show that. Like, you can put a video on of a punter booming one and dropping it on the one, and people get it. Yep. You can put Adam Gotsis getting a big sack, and people get it. Yep. You put a picture of oh my god, I'm going blank of Jordan
blocking,
doing a real nice.
Like, he's just standing in the way of a guy,
and they're like, so he stayed in the way of another fat guy.
Only idiots like me get it.
Hard. It is so hard to play left tackle in the NFL.
He also played right tackle and guard this season just to fill in for different spots. As guys got injured, he moved them, which is insane versatility. But he's best spot left tackle, and he is really well played by the Eagles to give him that contract. Because I think if they let this season play out and let him go to the market, and you know what, probably pretty dumb by his agent. But you know what, when someone offers you that sort of money before you've even had your first start, take it.
That's such a good contract.
Well played by everyone. But yeah, Jordan, just while we're on the Aussies, he's having. I want to see him and Gotsis go at it. I wonder if we'll see it. That'd be fun.
He's a little too interior, but we'll see.
Yeah,
maybe.
What we will see is a Monday Night Football game tomorrow. We've got the Giants at your Buccaneers. I want to smell an upset because last week remember last week, Richie, we were like, we were both like Rams, Rams surely. But then I actually listened back to it. We started almost talking ourselves into the 49ers, being like, but it's a division game. It's at 49ers. There's all the hype around the Rams. Are they going to – this is the game they lose. And they not only lost that game, they got pumped. So this shows you primetime games, division games, they're huge. But I don't know. I find the Bucs had a bad loss last week to Washington. Daniel Jones, for me, he just turns the ball over way too much. I don't actually think he's a bad quarterback. He just turns it over too much. And you give Tom Brady extra possessions, he kills you. They're coming off a bye week. I just think they're going to come in super prepared. Bruce Arians is notoriously excellent off buys. So I think they're going to come in. I think they're going to win it.
I would certainly hope so. We need to give a bad team a slapping. In the simplest way. They've been just those last two games, you just can't be giving any more away, especially as you said. I don't think the Saints are going to catch us, but we've got to get to winning. It's a bad team, got to win.
Is Barkley playing? Do we know?
I don't know. It's going to be a game time decision, surely.
Saquon Barkley expected to play. So fun fact, I'm reading this from NFL.com, so I'll give it away. Giants averaged 380.6 yards per game with Barkley, which is it's good. That's good. 277 without him.
Yeah.
100 yards less without him. That's massive. That's a third.
As much as I hate to say it, just Daniel Jones is it's not up for it. I don't think they're going to have to get one.
And this is, like you said, you've got the Buccaneers are a good defense. They've played badly the last couple. In saying that, they played bad against Heineke. They get 1 third down stop on that last drive. I guarantee you Brady's going to win that game. Guarantee you he wins that game. But they're still a good ranked defense. Their rushing attack, which started so well, and there was a bit of hype around it, hasn't been that good. And then you've got a reasonably good defense from the Giants. So look, I think this will be kind of a mid to low scoring game. I think the Bucs probably win it 27-17, somewhere around that. I think they run away with it at the end. I certainly don't think that the Bucs aren't a blow your socks off sort of team. I think it's one of those games they get maybe a 2-touchdown, 10-point lead and then just coast and stay even within the rest of the way, where you're never really worried, but the Giants fight because they do have a lot of fight about them, the Giants. So much fight that we forked them a month ago.
I did.
Yeah, you did. But I'd find it real. Again, I wouldn't bet on anything in the NFL right now, but I'd find it very hard to bet against the Bucs here at home. I think they win the game.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine they're like a 6-point favorite going in. Hang on, let me find it. We got time, don't we? Yeah, we've gone pretty early.
4.5, I think it was. I saw before.
Oh, really? 4.5 points. So that's right in the Vegas zone. That is. Bucks versus Giants.
Is that a good thing being in the Vegas zone?
No, it's awful because it's hard to bet on. Because obviously games are often decided by field goals or touchdowns. When it sits in that 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5, blah, you never want to bet on those.
Okay.
Let's see what we got. I'm sure this is interesting for everybody while I desperately try and find this on my phone. No, it's 10, mate. It's 10.5.
10? Oh, it's at home. Yeah, 10 at home. That's a lot.
-3 for the at home, so it's a touchdown, basically.
If I was going to bet on that, I'd bet on the Giants.
I reckon the Giants could just about cover that. The over-under is 49.5. I reckon that'll probably go over.
Yep. There you go.
It's no fun to bet the under because you're sitting there with a tight butthole the whole game.
You always want to bet the over. I need Mike Evans to score 15 points tomorrow as well. So get around Mike Evans. Two touchdowns, 180 yards. That'd be nice, Mikey boy.
I've got Godwin and Gronk to go, and I lead by 60.
You're desperate for him, are you?
I could bench them both.
Jesus. There you go.
Sorry, Doyle, your fantasy team sucks.
Yeah, he is bad at fantasy football and real football, actually, now that you mention it.
Yeah, he's got his baby belly.
Yeah, and he's bad knee now. Age, father time is undefeated.
Father time gets us all.
Yep, it'll get me at some point soon, hopefully, very soon. But that brings us to the end of the show. I reckon this might be a world record show time, 42 minutes,
Rapid
43
fire.
minutes. That's pretty good. Covered some good stuff though. So, Richie, thank you as always. I want to thank Burnley Brewing, Dark Horse Electrics, US Sports Gear, and our friends at JD's Breaks Down Under. Get into our Patreon for a chance to win this Marshall Falk signed mini helmet. Really awesome. Also, next month one is absolutely insane. The next couple of months is awesome. Thanks to J&D's Breaks Down Under. Get in there. Everything's below. Enjoy the Monday night game tomorrow. Make sure you listen to Aaron from our college football podcast. Did a special podcast with a guy named Spencer. Absolutely, it was awesome. And he's from Balls Out PhD. So it's like he's basically a sports historian that, to give you a really basic view of the interview, he talks about basically Australian sports becoming Americanized. That's kind of it. There's tons of stuff in between it. It's very, very interesting. He makes something that I would think would be really dry, very interesting. So had a chance to listen to that. That went up last night. Have a listen to Aaron, our great mate from college football down under, and friend of the Vault, obviously, or part of the Vault, I should say. But their podcast will be out tomorrow. Obviously, ours tonight. Their podcast tomorrow. Fantasy football out later in the week, and then the College Boys will roll again in for their preview show later in the week as well. College football is absolutely ramping up. Richie, when are you going on the college football podcast with them?
Can I be honest, mate? I'm the most underprepared of my college football I think that I have been in my life.
They need someone just to go. I just need to drop you in there like a fucking hand grenade. Just drop you in there and just start shitting on teams. Like, I don't know. I don't even know what you do, but you know what you're like. You'll just get in there and just start getting after their opinions. Yeah, that's what I need.
I tell you what. Tell the boys, let's get to the end of the regular season.
Playoff special.
And I'll get on for for early playoff and bowls. How's that?
All right,
And I'll take my shots at all the crummy teams.
I want to come on and ask
just
dumb
quickly.
questions.
Oh, we're talking about it. There's a lot of very, very good college jobs that are already open. Florida, LSU, USC are all open. Even my Frogs, for the first time in 20 odd years, is an open job as well. There's some really, really good jobs in the college ranks this year. It'll be very interesting to see what happens because LSU is a top 5 job. USC is a top 10 job.
What happened to the guy that was with the weird voice? He's been fired already.
Mm-hmm.
A year and a half after winning an undefeated national championship.
Yeah.
Ed Oberon, isn't it?
Ogeron.
Jesus,
yeah.
fickle world.
Gone.
Very fickle. Do you reckon Mike McCarthy takes a college job so Callum Moore can be promoted to head coach? Do you reckon any chance that happens?
You wish. No.
You wish.
Okay, let's put it this way. McCarthy walks into your lounge room as a 17-year-old kid and says, hey, come and play at my school. I know what an RPO is. You get the fuck out of my lounge room.
I'd go. You know what? Cowboys, he could do it. College teams, get him, pay him whatever he needs. He'd be Harbrow on steroids, mate. What he lacks in ability to understand what an RPO is, he makes up for in recruitment ability. Trust me, I've seen him in a room. He can recruit a kid. All right, get him out of Cowboys.
It'll be a really interesting offseason because there'll be a lot of high-ranking assistants who will be on playoff teams and deep college bowl games and things like that who won't be there for their team because they'll go early for their new jobs. It's going to be really interesting. Pete Carroll might go back to USC.
Never know. I don't think he'll be in Seattle.
I do. That's not happening.
Talk tonight. All right, that's it. We've pushed it to 46 minutes. Richie, thank you as always, mate. Thanks to all our sponsors I mentioned earlier, and you will hear from us next week.